Today we're going to be checking out the OBSBOT Tiny 2 webcam. This isn't going to be your standard webcam where you just place it and it sits there. This thing can do front flips, back flips, and side flips. Alright, so in the box what we're going to get is a user's manual. We're definitely going to have to reference this to learn exactly how it works. A zip up case which is going to contain everything we need inside, and you're going to see what's going to be included is the cable along with the webcam. We're also going to have this metal part that the webcam attaches onto, and then we're also going to have a little converter from USB-C to USB-A. Alright, so first impressions with this Tiny 2 webcam, it's going to be tiny. This thing is going to be about half the size of my hand, and it's going to be really friendly looking. It does have a full metal build, so it feels very high quality. This mount here is going to be magnetic, so what you do is you basically open it up, and once it's open, the thin part over here is where the webcam mounts onto. And it's going to mount on there via the magnet. And as you can see, it is going to be firmly placed on there. And if I shake it, this thing is not going anywhere. So the magnet is going to be quite tough. And then these parts here are going to be what mounts onto your monitor or wherever you're going to be placing the webcam. And there's going to be a nice rubber texture here to give it a solid grip. So mounting this Tiny 2 webcam is going to be really simple. I'm going to mount it on my laptop here. And as you can see, this is going to be a very thin display. So the way you do it is you just kind of come at it at an angle like so, place it on there, and then you can adjust the back legs here a little higher and you can make it kind of straight like that. As you can see, it's mounted on my laptop and it's firmly on there, and now we can use this webcam instead of our laptop if we want something significantly higher quality. Plugging in the webcam is going to be super simple. All we do is get the USB-C cable, plug it into the back over here, and then the second part of the USB-C cable connects onto your computer. And if you don't have a USB-C slot, it also came with this adapter that converts it from USB-C to regular USB-A. Once the camera is plugged in, you're going to see there's going to be this green light glowing and you're going to be good to go. Okay, so we got it plugged in, and this is what it's going to sound and look like just out of the box with no software or anything. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Here we are talking on the webcam. We're using the microphone plus the video. So overall, I will say first impressions, I'm looking at this on my screen right now. It looks really, really crispy, and you can tell the frame rate is very, very high. The studio light I use for this setup is set to 20%, and we're gonna go ahead and drop it even lower to see what the webcam quality looks like in lower light. So here we have it completely off. This is just a small little light running up there. And as you can tell, the quality is definitely performing pretty good for a extremely dark environment. So now I wanted to run you through the software that comes with this camera. You can get it off of their website, and once you have it installed, it's going to look something like this. And basically, there's kind of a lot to look at and a lot of features, so I'll quickly run you through all of the tabs. So this is going to be your default setting. Here, if you push the camera button, you're going to get this window on the left that pops up, and you're going to have some settings here that you can adjust. You can adjust your resolution, your frame rate, all that. I'm currently running this at 1080p with 13 FPS. And then here you can actually begin recording and use this software as a recorder or take a picture. Now on the dashboard, we're gonna have these 4 drop downs that let you do various things. So I'll start off with the bottom here. It's called View and Gimbal. So this is how you control the access points on the gimbal. If I move this dial to the left, you can see it moves to the left. And if I move it to the right, goes to the right. And you can see on my laptop here that the camera is also moving, and I can move it in many different directions through the gimbal, and that's how the access points are used. Now I'm not centered, and if I want to reset this, I just go ahead and push this reset button, and bam, we're back to where we were. You can also adjust the lens. You can make it wide view, medium view, or even narrow view where it's kind of more zoomed in. And then if we close this and open up AI mode, here you can have different modes like desk mode. So if I press this, and now it's kind of looking at what's in front of my laptop here and onto the desk over here, which I have a mouse. You can see that it is going to be a little warped, but if you're showing something like your paperwork, your artwork, you can totally use that to quickly demonstrate what you have. Then you're going to have whiteboard mode, which basically if you have a whiteboard, it's going to show your whiteboard and kind of in a full screen mode. You have hand mode where it'll track your left hand or your right hand. And then you have group mode if you have quite a few people with you and you need them all on the camera at the same time, and it's going to zoom in and out and pan around according to the people. And here we can set different things like track the motion, make it standard, track the upper body, do a close-up. So if I click upper body, you can see the camera repositioned to over here. If I do headless, you can see that it's just going to track my chest for whatever reason. And if I go ahead and press lower body, you can see it's going to go ahead and aim down to the lower part of my shirt. I personally like the upper body position for meetings and just presentations like this. And presets is basically like profiles that you can save. You can have preset 1, 2, and 3. So you can have like a upper body zoomed in position. You can have like a whiteboard position, and you can have a desk position, and adjust the settings and press between all of them here. Now these tabs here are going to be image mode. So HDR is going to make it look crispier. If I press it, you can see that everything kind of turned a different shade, and it does look a lot more crispy. And I thought it looks pretty cool like that. And you can go ahead and turn it off again, and you can see kind of the difference. And you can really notice it when you're looking at some of the details here. And then focus mode basically allows you to focus on something like face or the whole background environment. Then you're going to have the exposure tab where it'll adjust what's exposed. If there's too much exposure, you can bring this down, it'll darken it. If there's too little exposure, you can kind of brighten it like this. Anti-flicker is going to allow you to adjust lights so they don't blink on the camera. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this off for now since I don't have an issue with that. And white balance is going to try to find the whites and keep them white rather than like a beige or a yellow color. So I recommend keeping that on auto. And then image, you can go ahead and adjust all of your image settings like the color, the sharpness, the contrast. Next tab is going to be beauty. And here, if I press, for example, native, watch my face, you can see that it becomes a lot more soft and smooth. If you want to go for that look, you have like a classic look. You also have a man look. And if you don't want any of them, you just go ahead and press the disable button. And then if we scroll down, you can actually customize your body shape a little. So if you want to lose some pounds, you can go ahead and press that. If you want to add some weight, you can also do that. So I'll just mess with my head shape here. So watch my head as I dial this up. You're going to see it kind of shrinks. If I want to go back to normal, I bring it down to 0. So you can see it's kind of funny. It just kind of like warps the image to make it look smaller or larger. And then you also have filters, like different color ones. This is nature, this is fresh, clear, a lot of different variations. And then if we go to more tab, you can set things like when your device goes to sleep every 2 minutes or even up to 10 minutes. You can add a sleep background. This is if you're like live streaming and when your camera is idle for 2 minutes, it'll just select a specific picture. And if you want, you can go ahead and upload your own custom picture there. Here we have lock target, so you can lock on a specific human. Here we have zooming, zoom factors, and a lot of different voice controls. And over here we have voice features, and this is going to be really cool. So I can command the camera via voice. And so if I want to put it to sleep, I just say sleep tiny. And there's going to be a bunch of different things like to track yourself, unlock, zoom in closer, zoom out further. A lot of cool voice settings there. And then down here you have some audio settings where if you want to reduce the noise reduction or increase it. Then you also have gaining if your mic is too quiet. And then you're going to have image flip. So if you want to flip everything, you can see I just flipped everything, and that's what that does. Pretty straightforward. And a few other settings here. Also have remote control mode, and this is going to be only if you purchase the remote, which is right here. This remote, you do have to pay extra for this, but basically it connects via an included USB-A dongle, and all of the software settings we just went through, this remote is capable of doing them as well. Not all of them, but most of the important ones. And then here you're gonna have a global hotkeys button, and if you wanna use hotkeys on your computer, you just go to the settings, and here's all of the hotkeys you have available. So this is going to be a solid webcam if you're looking for something with all the bells and whistles. I mean, you got 2 access points, you got voice controls, different video settings, whatever you can think of, this camera can pretty much do it. It's going to connect via USB-A or USB-C, and if you don't want to plug it in via USB-A or C, they do have an HDMI option, but you'll also have to purchase this separately if you want to plug it into your TV or to your computer via the HDMI slot. So if you're interested in this webcam, be sure to check out my link down in the description below, and I also have a promo code down there if you want a little discount. And with that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.